Welcome back to another episode of Talking Toku, Boston and Bellingham's only podcast about Godzilla, Gamera, Ultraman, and all of their kaiju friends. I am your host, David.
I'm Brian.
And I don't even know how to go into this episode, Brian.
Today
partially
we're talking about
the new Empire.
Yep. We're just going to talk about it.
Yeah.
And we're going to give our thoughts on the 30-second teaser. And then we're going to talk about the future. It's a part 2 to the episode we did a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't even know how long ago that was.
It was probably sometime last year.
Most likely.
But we basically went over like where we think the MonsterVerse is going to go and what we want to see from it. And we're essentially going to do the same thing here because, one, we're lazy, and two, now we actually know where it's going.
Sort of. So, barely.
Sort of. Yeah.
We know everything that's going to happen in this movie. Bagin's going to be the final
we also
boss.
have more. We have a bit more like production info from the show that
That's
they're making too.
So yeah, we'll cover that. This is definitely not because we were grasping at straws trying to figure out what to talk about this week. 100% not the case.
We're tired of reviewing movies.
Yeah.
That's the real answer.
We'll do that next week, I think. We'll probably review something. Because, our thing, we like to switch back and forth between discussion and reviews. That's the Talking Toku way. But not so today. But anyways, we got just a tiny bit of news. The title reveal is not part of the news because that's our main topic. But realistically, if we were covering a real topic today, that would definitely be our first news story. But we're so there's no news from the past 2 weeks at all. So we're not going to do that. Most importantly, we have a trailer and poster for the upcoming series Ultraman Blazer. It reads like Blazar, but I think they pronounced it Blazer in the trailer, so it confuses me. Blazar? Oh, that's even worse.
Blazinski.
Ultraman Blazinski. That's the next Ultraman.
That would be a pretty fun.
It would be. But anyways, hey, it looks really, really great. I have very high hopes. Everyone seems to have high hopes from what I've been seeing online. So it fucking better be good. All right, listen, Destoroyah. If this show's bad, I'm gonna post on Twitter about it. Are you excited for a potentially another good Ultraman show, Brian?
I am. I mean, I said to you that if it is the same ballpark of quality as Decker was, then it will be good. As long as it's just not Trigger.
I think being better than Trigger, I hate to keep dunking on it, but I feel like being better than Trigger is a very, very low bar. So I think we'll be able to get past that pretty easily, thankfully.
I think you're right. I don't know. I just it looks cool. The trailer looked cool, but obviously you can't really glean a whole lot from a trailer.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. I mean, so far, I have no reason, especially after Decker, I have no reason to think that it's going to be bad. So I'm excited about it. I mean, the new Ultraman design looks
so
cool.
good. I love that design.
It looks really good.
I like the not Mechagodzilla they have too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Everyone is joking about that. It's just Mechagodzilla.
Love all things mecha, so I'm here for it. And then I made the joke that it looks like he's playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yes, I already forget what the main character's name is, but
Yugi.
No, not Yu-Gi-Oh. For Blazer.
I'm fucking with you.
Up,
I don't know. I mean, it looks cool. I like it. I like all the stuff I've seen from it so far.
Yeah. But yeah,
it's just weird that I was thinking through the whole trailer that they haven't really shown any of the presumed to be team members.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that.
They didn't really. There's absolutely no footage of them. It was just the dude and then Ultraman and then some monsters and then the weird Godzilla looking motherfucker, and that's about it. I don't know. But that being said, I don't remember the trailer for Decker, and I don't think I watched a trailer for Trigger, so I don't know if that's like a change.
Yeah. But anyways, that series premieres July 8th. I'm sure it will be available on YouTube like the last 3 shows have been, so definitely keep an eye out. We'll be watching it.
Watch them like just hit us with like a fuck you at the last
literally,
second.
Yeah, like the day before the episode premieres. Oh yeah, this is
like,
not going on.
We're not gonna release it on YouTube for like 6 months after it's aired.
Yeah.
That would suck.
It would suck. What would it do to this show? We would like.
I think it would sink us.
Yeah. Tsuburaya Productions single-handedly killed Talking Toku. Very sad.
Yeah, it did.
All right, moving on.
Well, our next news story for today.
We don't do figure like collectible news. We don't do collectible news all that often, but it's because there really was nothing these past 2 weeks. I'm sorry.
Well, you like collectibles, Dave. You're all about that.
But I don't
You
like
have the room for it or not.
I really don't. I do not have the room for it.
Well, whether or not you do or don't have space for it, Bandai is doing a figure for the original maquette for the 1954 Godzilla, which is great. I love that we're getting figures of unrealized Godzilla designs between this and Super 7 doing the 1957 Godzilla. Give me more. Yeah, they look pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, I really like that design. I mean, I understand why they never went with that design. Clearly,
it does look kind of goofy.
Yeah, I want to say I don't know if they made the suit of that, and that was the one that was like too heavy for Nakajima, but
it looks like it would be heavy.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like an uncomfortable suit to be in.
The legs are like that's wonky. The one thing I'm not jiving with. The legs are really far back.
They are. It does not look comfortable. I
don't really,
think
really far. Like you would have to stand so awkwardly in that thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think most of those suits are all that comfortable to begin with, but that one especially.
Yeah. Yeah, that one looks like it wouldn't be fun to be in.
So yeah.
What other unrealized Godzilla designs would you want to see, Dave?
Well, I mean,
the
main one that everyone wants is the Stan Winston Godzilla that was going to be from the Yondabont film. That many people
the one that looks like a fucking crocodile.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
and to a lesser degree, I gotta look up who the hell it was that was supposed to be directing that film. It was like it was in the 80s.
While you're searching it, the one thing I'm thinking about with the Stan Winston design is that it's kind of like Godzilla if he was from Florida.
I can see that because of the crocodilian stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't look like they had a director involved, but William Stout was the one who designed the Godzilla for it, and it's way more dinosaurian in appearance. But this was supposed to be in like a American production in the 1980s, and it was going to be in 3D, so it's that.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's a little
3D in the 80s.
I know, right? It would not have been very good, but
no, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting look.
It's definitely more like dinosaur like. Yeah. It definitely takes much more visual cue from dinosaurs than it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that would be a really those two are like the main designs that people are probably would like to see. I honest and probably the concept art version of the Final Wars Godzilla with like the red, the glowing red chest and like the more porcupine-esque spines. I feel like that's a big one that people would like to see as well. And I think there are statues of that exist that you can get as well, but I do not know for sure.
Probably expensive.
Oh, I'm sure. But yeah, so I would like to see those two designs for sure. Okay,
right.
Brian, is it
Well,
time
that's it
to
for the
talk?
news.
That's it for the news. Two news stories, and one of them's a collectible thing, which we don't usually do all that often. Sorry.
Do we have any other things that we forgot about?
Once again, I feel like Godzilla Twitter was on some bullshit recently, but I don't remember what it was. I don't care enough to like keep that in my mind.
Yeah. Oh, reminder that we're 6 months away from the next Japanese Godzilla movie.
Oh yeah. That
came up fast.
It did. Oh, we can talk about this. The fact that Shin Kamen Rider confirmed now for a May 31st release. So,
oh hell yeah!
If you don't have your tickets yet, go get it. We'll do we. I assume we'd review that, right?
Yeah. Why wouldn't we?
I don't know, because we've watched 9 episodes out of
the show is required viewing.
I mean, that's
to watch
fair.
them. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can tell you right now that our number one fan, Sam, is probably going to see it, and she has not seen a single episode of the original show.
Well, you got to fix that immediately, Brian, because you know how good those first 9 episodes are.
Oh, I know. That being said, though, she has a much different reaction to camp.
That's
than
fair.
I do.
Fair
some
enough.
Some of it doesn't hit her the same way it hits me.
Damn, she's just not as
like,
cultured
I don't know,
as you.
I know I told you about this, and it's not related to kaiju, but we were watching the Evil Dead movies in preparation for Evil Dead Rise, which is a fucking awesome movie, and everyone should go see it.
Very, very good, yes.
But we watched Army of Darkness, and the whole time she was just like looking back at me like angrily.
Well, that's her problem, I think.
And then I asked her what she thought of it, and she said, I don't know, I was just angry and confused the whole time.
I mean, I get confused, but why angry?
I don't know. I think it was just because of the absolute absurdity of all of the lines that were said. I think
guess that's fair.
She said that her breaking point was the "Give me some sugar, baby."
Why was that the breaking point?
I don't know, but that was her breaking point. It was really funny. She loved Evil Dead 2, though. She liked that.
That's so weird, though, because like I feel like in some respects, like Evil Dead 2 is even more goofy than Army of Darkness. Like Army of Darkness is a comedy, but like I feel like Evil Dead 2, because it mashes up horror and comedy more, like it's intrinsically more ridiculous in that sense. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know. I mean, it could have been that we were like high or something, or what. I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, though, I kind of understood where she was coming from because I was high watching Army of Darkness, and I actually didn't enjoy it nearly as much.
I'm shocked. I'm gonna have to do that by myself and see how that goes, because I don't believe that is even possible.
Because I like that movie. Like, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
And I'll enjoy it. But like, I feel like when I was high while watching it, it felt like the jokes just went on for too long.
Well, it is a
like
comedy,
maybe that's just because when I'm high, like I'm more like wanting things to get a move on.
Okay.
Like if something's going on for too long, then I start to get bored.
Right.
So like maybe that was it, because some of the jokes in that movie go on for a very long time. And if it was anybody, and a lot of the visual gags too, like if it was anybody but Bruce Campbell, it would be unacceptable.
That's
but
fair.
Like, I don't know. While high, I just wanted it to like keep moving.
All right.
But
I'll take your word for it. I'll whenever I get around to it, I'll report back to you, Brian.
Though Evil Dead Rise, I wanted to mention, it made $40 million in its opening weekend, which for a horror movie is pretty fucking good.
Fucking love that. More Evil Dead movies, please.
Yes,
Are we
please.
just an Evil Dead
and
podcast now, Brian?
More clips of Bruce Campbell telling off obviously drunk viewers at a showing that hated the movie for some reason. I love that clip.
Are we an Evil Dead podcast now, Brian?
I wish. I wish there was enough material to do that.
I mean, there's 5 movies and a 3-season TV show, plus multiple video games and comics.
That's fair.
So we very easily could.
Yeah, I guess we could. I mean, we can always just morph this into like a giant monster and horror podcast
We
because they're
could.
kind of.
Or maybe we do
They're,
evil.
you
Maybe
know, a lot of them share,
we review Evil
similar
Dead
DNA.
for next year's April Fools.
Good.
I mean,
the final episode of the final season of Ash versus Evil Dead is the kaiju.
he fights a kaiju.
Yeah.
Anyways,
like having a giant ball and dick too.
I don't remember. I haven't watched the show.
I don't remember why,
aired.
but I feel like I remember that.
I wouldn't be surprised. Anyways, so Brian, well, the main big news story over the past 2 weeks is that we got a title reveal for the next MonsterVerse film. And boy, is it a title. We're on some Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice shit. Because the next MonsterVerse... Am I wrong, Brian?
No, I'm just thinking how accurate that is.
Yeah, no.
I think I had the same like reaction to the new Empire. Is that what's called, the new Empire?
Yeah, so the title is Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire.
Are they like best friends now?
I guess so. I guess that's how that works.
Are they going to be like a couple?
I don't know. I mean, the X certainly implies it. Like, that's how people do fan fiction online.
If they don't hold hands, I'm going to ask for a refund.
They need to kiss.
Yeah. Cowards.
Do it, Adam.
Title is fucking terrible. But we do get to kind of get a glimpse at the new bad man who is just bigger
monkey. I mean, where else do you go?
I actually like to think it's a Godzilla Kong hybrid.
I don't think that's the case. I mean, it looks just like.
Here's the thing. I know, but we don't really get to see a lot of it. A lot of it is shrouded in darkness.
Yeah, but I've seen brightened up pictures.
And also, these movies thus far have gotten dumber and dumber.
I'm aware of that, but like, I don't think they'd go that far because, like, it's been established that like there were other Kongs.
You remember the gonorrhea joke?
I do remember the gonorrhea joke. I'd like to forget it. Thanks, Brian.
I think they can go dumber, and I think they are perfectly willing to.
I don't think that's where they're gonna go with this. Right, I think it's just gonna be another Kong species.
For the record, I also don't think they're gonna do something that stupid.
Yet.
But yeah, it is probably gonna be just big monkey.
Yeah.
It probably because some executive was just like, oh fuck, I didn't get to see Godzilla rip off Kong's head, so they're like, oh, let's just make another monkey.
Honestly. But yeah, it looks interesting. I know a lot of people are kind of upset about it because they're like, oh, another Kong, that's boring.
Destoroyah.
Well, there's that too. But it's like, at this point, I know this is gonna sound really pessimistic of me, but I am kind of totally over the MonsterVerse at this point. I don't care what they do. They can just do whatever the hell they want, and I'll still see it. But I'm not excited for it in any shape or form. I don't want it to be good. I don't want it to be bad. It exists, and that's okay with me.
Yeah. I mean, I listened to the Mr. Sunday Movies podcast today, where they were talking about the trailer and also like Evil Dead Rise and all that stuff. And I don't remember who said it, but they were basically like, it feels like Godzilla vs. Kong did really well. And so they were like, oh, so you do want more of these.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they just immediately greenlit a sequel because I'm going to be honest with you. After Godzilla vs. Kong, I thought it was over. I think a lot of people did. Because like that movie, like it didn't set up anything for one, which these big universe movies, they usually make it a point to set something else up. And it felt like closure on all the Ghidorah stuff because now he is like actually gone. I
mean, barely because like that they didn't make the Ghidorah connection clear in the film at all.
That's true, but I mean, like if you paid attention at least a little bit,
yeah.
And so I was just thinking like, oh, like this is it. Like I don't know what else they really feel like doing because they're not really setting anything up. So
Well,
this is probably
Kong left off in the Hollow Earth. He's doing his thing in there. So I guess I guess what this new guy is gonna be, what people are calling Lanky Kong because he's an orangutan, like actual Lanky Kong is. I guess he's just going to be another Kong who was in the Hollow Earth the whole time? Question mark. Which I guess. I mean, I think the main thing that people are like kind of disappointed in is that like, they blew their load with Ghidorah early on, and it just feels like Ghidorah should have been like a big bad like set up for later on down the line. Ghidorah should have been the quote-unquote Thanos of the MonsterVerse, which I hate to use that, but that's what everyone uses nowadays to compare that to. Like, I agree. And, because, like, Ghidorah was set up as, what do they call him? They called him a living extinction event. You can't really go much bigger than that, No. It's tough to go bigger than that. So it just seems at this point they're kind of just throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, like, it just with every movie that goes by, it really just starts to feel more and more like they are grasping at straws, trying to find something that is cooler than Ghidorah, which is just a losing battle.
Yeah. Which don't get me wrong, Mechagodzilla, that's a perfectly fine next step in the Godzilla pantheon, but like, now where do you go? Like, we don't have any.
They kill all these monsters in the first movie they appear in.
I know, it's upsetting.
Like, you don't have to kill the opposing monster immediately. You could have it as a recurring villain.
Yeah, I mean, we got the skull crawlers back in Godzilla vs. Kong. That was nice to see.
I mean, in my head, this all comes back to just the absolute unwillingness to make new, cool kaiju designs.
Yeah.
Like, they make them, but then they don't do anything with them. And the skull crawlers, I think, are awesome, but they have just been relegated to cannon fodder at this point.
No, 100%.
Like, they show up for like 30 seconds in a movie, only to get torn apart by a bigger monster, and then that bigger monster gets torn apart even faster than the skull crawler did, because it's just like they power creep these monsters so hard because they're like, oh, we need it to be even more powerful. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just don't like. I'm interested to see if they do anything cool with it, but at the end of the day, like, I just want a good Godzilla movie, and it doesn't really seem like they're super interested.
I don't know.
It seems like they are.
Granted, we have not gotten a full trailer for this.
No,
we've only gotten the title. So, like, I know we're really assuming a lot here, but the way the MonsterVerse has been going since 2017 after Kong Skull Island, it's kind of been on a downward spiral ever since. So it's kind of, I know it's only been 2 more movies, but it's hard to be optimistic at times, especially given.
I mean, look at their release schedule. Their release schedule is ridiculous. There's like 3 or 4 years between each movie.
Which, don't get me wrong, I don't mind that. I would much rather have.
I don't mind it either, but you can't, like, it doesn't feel like a cohesive.
That's true.
Universe that you're trying to make if you release. Like, Marvel, like, as much as I don't care about Marvel, and I really haven't since like Infinity War, like, they have a laser focused release schedule. Like, you can't forget about Marvel if you tried.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they are so dedicated to releasing their big slated movies on time. And like, yeah, their new ones are garbage. Apparently, I haven't seen any of them. And their shows are kind of like really miss or maybe kind of hit. But like, they're pretty good about like having a release schedule that keeps people interested. But with the MonsterVerse, you have one movie that comes out every 3 years, And by the time the next one rolls around, everyone's like, "What happened in the last one?"
Yeah, I mean, I would
Like, what?
prefer quality over quantity, but that hasn't really been the case. We've gotten neither quality or quantity over the past couple ones. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, we're being really pessimistic here. We shit on the MonsterVerse like all the fucking time on this show, but
I mean, I would like to talk about what I think would be cool, and that is like actually expanding on some of the characters they have.
well, that's the thing. I don't think we're getting many returning characters in this film.
Good. They'll have like actual room to like leave those shit characters behind and
Let me
make better
see.
ones.
Okay, the only returning characters are Andrews, Bernie, and Gia from the last film. Which Gia makes sense.
Yeah, she makes sense.
And so does Eileen Andrews, because she was like the one who was like with Gia. I don't really know why Bernie's returning.
I mean, it's cool that Gia's back because she was probably one of the better parts of Godzilla vs. Kong.
She was probably the highlight of Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah. I mean, if they they expand her character and like, they make her have like, I don't even know what they're going to do, but as long as they just make her like a likable character that has an arc, that does stuff and that is interesting, that's literally all I'm asking for at this point. I thought that her relationship with Kong was really compelling in Godzilla vs. Kong. It was the only character relationship I cared about at all.
Yeah.
So if they just keep that up and just, expand on it and, they make her still best friends with Kong, that automatically adds stakes to the story. Like, you put Gia in danger, that you feel bad for Kong. You put Kong in danger, you feel bad for Gia. That's like one step already like done for you.
Yeah.
But like it's gonna come down to the director and the the writers and shit to like actually make it compelling. And you also got to have people that fucking care about it, I guess.
Also true, yeah. I mean, we'll find out next year. I mean, this was what, March?
Yeah.
Of next year, March 15th. So less than a year, a little less.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I will say, I want to talk more about Lanky Kong though.
Okay.
Because people have some theories.
I saw one theory. It was that it was King Caesar in disguise.
That would have been hilarious, but people are saying like the fact that his eyes are like glowing blue, like that he might have the electricity powers that King Kong had in the original King Kong versus Godzilla, which I think that would be really great. I could totally see them doing that as a kind of Easter egg, which I would really like too. It'd be different. It'd be something different than him just like having another axe or weapon or something, which would just be boring. I feel.
Does Godzilla have like a? Does the MonsterVerse Godzilla have a weakness to electricity?
I don't.
Like the original?
I don't think they've given him a single weakness, Brian.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they tried very hard to be like, oh my god, he's more powerful than any Japanese Godzilla. America. That is the dumbest thing. Oh my god.
Okay, I have the MonsterVerse Godzilla wiki, the Wikizilla page for the MonsterVerse Godzilla up, and I'm on the weaknesses section. Let's see what we got here. The MonsterVerse Godzilla, while a formidable opponent, demonstrates a few weaknesses. The gills on his neck appear to be a weak point, shown when he reels back in pain after being struck directly in the gills by a shot fired from an M1 Abrams tank stationed on the Golden Gate Bridge. Okay. His endurance is also not limitless, as he suffers from apparent exhaustion multiple times during his fight with the Mutos, King Ghidorah, and Mechagodzilla. Okay. Godzilla can also be outmatched in one-on-one combat by an enemy comparable or superior to him in size and strength. This is kind of nothing, I feel. He's visibly hurt by Ghidorah's gravity beams. Yep. He was outmaneuvered and overpowered by Mechagodzilla. These don't feel like legitimate weaknesses, you know?
So his weaknesses are the script.
Yeah, pretty much. He doesn't have any like, actual weaknesses like being weak to like electricity, like the show what Godzilla was. Like that wasn't.
Yeah, Godzilla's weakness is that he is hurt when he's hurt.
Yeah, very much so. I wouldn't. I don't know. I mean, I guess they can just introduce, hey, this Godzilla's weak to electricity. It would be stupid considering how the power scaling on this version of Godzilla, but
yeah, it would be weird considering that, like, he also got shocked by a absolutely huge power station.
This is true. I mean, I guess he was kind of like knocked back by that. He was yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I guess we will see. Sorry, you wanted to talk about Linky Kong?
Well, that's what we were just talking about. Him being potentially having the electrical powers from.
You had any more? Were there any more theories?
Well, if it's kind of hard to see in the teaser, but if you brighten up the footage, he has war paint on his face like the Iwis do on Skull Island, which is very interesting, I feel.
It'd be funny if Link was actually King Kong's like uncle.
That'd be pretty cool.
Shit. That would be weird.
I mean,
do you think they're actually going to show like I hate calling him Lanky Kong. Does he actually have a name?
No, not yet.
All right, I'm just going to keep calling him Lanky Kong.
Yeah, no, I'm sure like when the movie comes out, we'll have a name for him, but right now he's got absolutely nothing.
Yeah. I was going to say, you think they're actually going to show him get like horribly murdered by Godzilla and Kong? Because like they horrifically murdered Mechagodzilla together.
They did. So that might they just do fucking like Doom Eternal glory kills on him. That'd be fucking insane.
They like the one thing, one of the cool things about the MonsterVerse, in my opinion, has been the kills for the monsters. Like, have been pretty cool.
They have been, yeah. Like they've done some pretty. I mean, that was even the case. Like back, like right from the beginning with 2014, the Kiss of Death. Like that, I think everyone was like, "Oh yeah, that was fucking rad."
Yeah. Like it's all like. All the monster kills have been pretty awesome. I'd say it's like a mainstay.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, and this is a big monkey that bleeds red.
Yeah.
So, presumably bleeds red, I guess.
And I mean, Kong has an axe. Like he can just like chop.
Yeah. Yeah, he could. So I don't know. I mean, that would be pretty funny to see. Like, you just see this monkey get like decapitated.
Yeah, it is going to be really interesting, like how exactly they make him a threat, because like Godzilla and Kong have already fought, and Godzilla was very, very clearly the winner in that fight, in both fights. So it's going to be interesting how they make this other Kong a threat. I don't know. We don't know how big he is. People, KDM on Twitter, who's like, has been really, really good and accurate with leaks. He is saying like he is massive. It doesn't specify how massive, but I don't know. I think it'd be very interesting to have something as bigger, like noticeably bigger than Godzilla and Kong. Like Ghidorah was bigger than Godzilla, but like not too much. So it was like still in line with like how much bigger Ghidorah was in like the Showa and Versus series, I
was gonna say watch him be as big as like Zeton.
Big as a battleship.
From Shin Ultraman.
Yeah, that would be
a giant.
That would be something.
Giant orangutan in the sky.
No, it's underground, Brian, because it's in the Hollow Earth.
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
It can't be in the sky.
Well, I mean, technically, he's like a reverse Zeton.
Yeah, exactly. Well, wouldn't that be oh God, what is his name? Is it Telesdon? I think so. Is he the big earthworm kaiju? It is. Yeah, Telesdon. He's based on an earthworm.
Earthworm Jim?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
Earthworm
Whenever
Jim.
anyone says earthworm to me, that's the first thing I think about.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair.
Oh, man. We don't get video game character designs like that anymore.
We don't. Well, isn't the guy who designed Earthworm Jim, isn't he like a terrible, terrible person?
Oh, undoubtedly. Yeah. Well, all right. Enough Earthworm Jim talk.
I gotta talk about this because you mentioned it earlier. Everyone's fucking going off about it because everyone wants like Destoroyah in this film or just in the MonsterVerse in general. And did we talk about this in our original, future Western Kaiju episode? I don't know, but anyways,
maybe it feels like the actual like a number of people demanding it has like exponentially increased.
It has
since that episode.
Well, I think that's just because like we have a new MonsterVerse film coming out, and so people are like excited for it. But here's my thing, and I talked about this with you, Brian. I cannot fathom exactly why people want Destoroyah in the MonsterVerse. I get it. Destoroyah is a cool design, and I get that Destoroyah was in the film where Godzilla died, but I think people don't remember that Destoroyah had nothing to do with Godzilla actually dying. I'm pretty sure Destoroyah died off screen in that movie and had absolutely no impact on Godzilla's death.
He like disappeared like right when Godzilla started melting down.
Yeah,
like he just fucked off, and then we never heard about it ever again.
Which and every time I watch that movie, which admittedly is not often, it's like it's done in such a way where like you don't even realize it. Like the plot just keeps moving, and you're not left with enough time to question. Wait, what happened to Destoroyah? So I can't fathom why people want Destoroyah in it. Like I get if Destoroyah was the one to kill Godzilla, then that would make sense. But here's the thing, Brian. You know who was the one to kill Godzilla?
Godzilla.
No. Fucking Mechagodzilla in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2.
Yeah.
He died, and then Rodan brought him back. So I don't know why people want to destroy it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Thank you, my DCM co-host Howard. He's agreeing with me.
What?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Howard has some insight into this.
Okay. All right.
Please welcome DCM co-hosts Howard Miller.
Okay, this is what we call. Okay,
I think this is your first official time on this show, by the way.
Sick.
Make you a friend of the show.
Yeah, you are officially a friend of the show now. Congratulations.
Woo! Okay. All right. So what we have here is a real big issue. All right. Okay. It's called lack of media comprehension. Okay. This happened. I kid you not. With Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
No. This is really true.
I'm sure.
The final fight is against an enemy called Kid Buu. Everyone thinks he was the strongest villain in Dragon Ball Z. He is not. He's actually not.
Okay.
He had a form before then called Super Buu, in which it was so strong no one genuinely wanted to fight him. He was actually weaker, and they said in the show he's weaker. But for some reason, everyone, I guess like a synapse in their brain misfired and said, oh no, Kid Buu is obviously the strongest one. So they're having dumb media comprehension think, oh, because Destoroyah is the last guy, therefore he must be the final boss of Godzilla.
Uh-huh.
So like that's the logic. I swear I was reading. I was like, okay, that's the only reason anyone would have this kind of idea.
So the reason just boils down to people are stupid.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just Destoroyah is the last guy, so you know.
All right,
there you go.
enough.
That's the reasoning.
My reasoning for why people want it is because he looks like Satan and people are edgy.
That might be part of it too.
Again, the last guy is Satan.
You're right.
It ties into my theory. All right. Last guy, big scary looking guy. big little man. Everyone thinks he's the strongest guy. Everyone thinks he killed Godzilla.
Listen. If they brought
He's
in
red and everything.
if they brought in Godzilla Jr. and then they had Destoroyah kill him like they did in Godzilla vs. Destoroyah, then I'd be all for it. But I don't think they're bringing in Godzilla Jr. anytime soon.
Unless Godzilla adopts a little monkey.
Well,
from the new movie.
that was a rumor. Like the rumor was that the next MonsterVerse film was going to be Son of Kong. I don't know if they're going to tie that into this movie at all. Oh, wait,
dude, I have a theory.
Are you going to say Lanky Kong is Kong's son?
Theory.
No, I have a theory.
All right.
So they kill Lanky Kong, and then they find out that Lanky Kong actually had a son.
Oh, and then they adopt him.
And then King Kong felt bad.
And then Godzilla and Kong agree to get married and raise the child as their own.
Who gets it on the weekends?
Orphaned child.
I feel like Godzilla gets it on the weekends because Kong's the one who lives in the Hollow Earth.
No, hold on. Or if maybe Lanky Kong is a woman ape. Much like how Marvel had their first sex scene in a movie, the MonsterVerse would get their first sex scene. That's terrible. Please don't do that.
If we were past the 45-minute mark, I would just like to end it there. But this is too short an episode to end it. So,
all right,
this is the most casual episode we've ever had.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Right, but that's all my input. I just want to say that's the theory that I was getting for the Destoroyah bit. Okay. All right, I'm gonna head out. Love you all. Peace.
Thanks for stopping by, Howard.
Thank you, Howard. Friend of the show, Howard.
Friend of the show, Howard. You might be onto something though, Brian, with the sex scene. Who knows?
Can I explain the King Caesar?
I would love to hear the King Caesar theory.
All right, so I have a confession to make to you.
Okay.
I went on Reddit the other day.
Mm-hmm. Biggest mistake.
After the trailer came out, I went on Reddit to go see the takes. Because I'm just addicted to just cringe, I guess.
You got to see like what people are saying.
And so I went on and I was looking through like because you know how they always pin like the, whatever new trailer is out. They always
exactly.
And I was just going, I was going through and let's see if I can actually find it. Somebody, if I recall correctly, I'm going to pull it up right now. If I recall, somebody was like, what if, because we never get a really good idea of what King Caesar is, what if this is King Caesar without all of the fucking armor and shit on him?
What the fuck?
I just read that and something in my brain just like...
Did this person not understand that King Caesar is based off of an actual real-life deity?
I think, Dave, these people, they don't know. They don't know. Let me... All right.
I'm like in shock. Like, honestly. Like, they know he's based off of Shisa, right?
This is not the comment I was thinking of. But one of the top comments is either one of the Gargantuas or King Caesar.
One of the Gargantuas? Like Sanda and Gyra?
Yeah.
What? That makes no sense. Those guys are Frankensteins.
Yep.
I'm fucking losing brain cells on this episode. Jesus Christ.
I am also losing brain cells on this episode, but man, I want to find the stupid comment because I like. Oh my god, there is a comment deleted by a user, and I really hope that's not it.
Oh. This really has been one hell of an episode today.
Yeah. Full transparency. I hope this movie's good. I said this about every other movie too.
100%. Like we I know we're being super negative about it, but like I want the movie to be good. I want to enjoy another MonsterVerse film past 2017. But it's just it's hard to be optimistic.
Yeah. Actually, I did just go past another "This is King Caesar" comment. But
another one.
I did actually hit a cool comment, which was just someone posting a picture of the 1962 King Kong from, and yeah, it looks really similar with the color scheme.
Yeah, and also the much longer arms too. Like,
yeah,
the Showa Kong had some long, lanky arms, so I noticed that as well.
Yeah, that is definitely the most likely thing that it's going to end up being. It's just a more like original, accurate King Kong, which I'm totally fine with. Oh my god.
Because we never really had that kind of character before, an evil Kong. Like, I guess you could like argue Mechanic Kong from King Kong Escapes, but that was a robot, not an actual living creature like this would be. I think it's a cool idea for a villain, and I'm really, really interested to see how they go about doing it. But it's
Yeah, I just hope that this doesn't start the trend of like this movie has a version of a character that is more like the original version of that character.
Yeah,
like if this is the only time they do it, I'm perfectly fine with it. But as long as they don't do it again,
I can't see them doing that again because like,
oh, I fucking found it. This dude, he said, "Hear me out. It's King Caesar without a helmet."
What do you mean a helmet?
He doesn't have a helmet. This is what blew my brain up because I just read it and I was like, King Caesar is not wearing a helmet. He just has big fucking ears.
He has like a little jewel headpiece, but that's like part of his natural natural. I think he's like, I can't remember if it's true or not, but I think King Caesar is like technically a living statue. I don't know if that's the case. I just think I might be making that up.
Like imagine.
Kind of.
Hell yeah.
I mean, you look at the texture on his skin, and it definitely looks like that.
Yeah.
Again, don't know if that's actually the case. I might just be making that up, but yeah, he's got like a jeweled headpiece. He doesn't have a fucking helmet.
No. Okay, last comment, and I'm gonna get off of this because my head is gonna explode. So one of the comments is, "What if it's King Caesar? I know it's a reach, but I want him in the MonsterVerse." And then the comment reply is just no.
No. That's good.
And I feel like that's me exactly. I just this whole comment chain, it just kind of reaffirms my opinion that like I just think we got to stop demanding old monsters in these movies.
I agree. I mean,
because the more we do that, the more they're going to rely on monsters, from the past.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just inherently less interesting, especially if you're a fan.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it multiple times how we'd prefer to have newer characters rather than just legacy characters, and I'm glad that they're not doing that with Lanky Kong. Like, that is technically, I mean, yeah, it's just another Kong, but it's still like a different character inherently. So
they make him like a shit your pants evil Kong. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I'm for it. Yeah, it's a good idea. Like, yeah. But at the end of the day, it's kind of just original Kong. But I think I would rather them do that than bring some monster from the past, especially if it's Destoroyah. Fuck that guy.
No, absolutely not. Or Space Godzilla, which was, I think, a now debunked leak from 4chan.
I don't think there is anything in any context where Space Godzilla would fit.
No, absolutely not. I honestly, high key, I would rather claw my eyes out than see Space Godzilla in this fucking movie or the MonsterVerse ever.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't really have a whole lot more to say about it. Yeah. I mean, I hope it's good.
I hope so too.
Yeah. We can hope. I mean, who's directing?
Same person. It's Adam. what the? Oh god, why am I blanking on his fucking name? Oh, this is bad. Adam Wingard. God.
Oh, okay.
Same guy who directed Godzilla vs. Kong. We also got Tom Holkenborg back for doing the score. And you know my newfound opinion on that score, so I'm excited for that. I'm excited to hear what he does with that. Most interesting thing though is that Dan Stevens is in this movie, and I fucking love Dan Stevens. So you know what? I'm all for it, man. If Dan Stevens plays like a villain in this movie, I'd love it. But if he plays a good guy too, doesn't matter. He's got great range as an actor. So I think it'll be great no matter what.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, it looks like there's definitely the potential for it to like not be bad. I would just like it to be.
I think if anything,
you know what? Before I continue on with this train of thought, I just want to like. I don't think any of the MonsterVerse movies are like trash garbage. I just don't like them. I feel like that's something that I don't really say very often. Like I feel like it's something I don't articulate.
Yeah.
I don't think they are the worst piece of garbage I've ever seen.
Right.
I just think they weren't made for me. Or if they were, then the director was tone deaf. But it's obvious that there's lots of people who do like them.
Yeah.
So let me rephrase. I think there is room here to make a movie that fans like us will like and new fans will like. It just depends on how. I'm just interested and hoping that they manage to maintain a balance to make that work.
Yeah, I think
because it seems like the other movies have been very greatly skewed towards like newer fans,
which I don't mind.
Like.
I think that's a good thing ultimately, like getting new fans into these movies. So
me too.
Me
too. It is a really hard problem to solve, especially with just like how stingy budgets can be, and with rooms of writers not really all being on the same page. But like, I hope one of these movies they do it. I hope. I don't know. Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say, but yeah.
That's okay. I have something to say. I think, you're kind of on the right track. Like, I think this could potentially be at least one of the more interesting MonsterVerse films. Like, it seems like they're doing something a little more, like a little different in terms of overall world building and storytelling. I mean, obviously they've been pushing for the Hollow Earth idea really, really hard since King of the Monsters. Even all the way back since Kong Skull Island, but especially since King of the Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong. And it feels
like with Godzilla vs. Kong, they made it more of like this is like another fucking world underground.
Yeah. Like that,
like in Godzilla 2014 and in Godzilla or in Kong Skull Island, it kind of just felt like they were talking about giant caverns in the ground.
I don't even think they mentioned it in 2014, did they?
I don't know why. I thought they did.
I think they only brought it in Kong Skull Island because they were talking about like, the skull crawlers. They're from below and whatever.
Oh, I mean, I could be wrong. It's been a while.
It's been a while for me too. But I don't think they mentioned it in 2014. I'd have to go rewatch it. I don't know.
Okay, I mean, I might be thinking that just because of the beginning of Godzilla 2014 with the cave-in.
Oh yeah, but I don't think that has anything to do with it.
Okay, well,
but yeah, no, I think, like I said, there's a lot of potential for this to be really, really interesting, and we're just gonna have to wait for March 15th of next year to find out.
Yeah. And another bit of positivity, like I still think we are in a pretty big golden era for like kaiju stuff. Like we have the Japanese Godzilla coming out in 6 months, like I said, and then we got the MonsterVerse Godzilla movie coming out in a year plus. And then we got like, a bunch of like new, the new Ultraman shows coming out. We got the Shin Kamen Rider. We just had Shin Ultraman. So like, it's still a good time to be a kaiju fan.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not all as, as bad as we make it sound. I realize we do get caught up in some negativity sometimes.
And the best part about that is that they're all very, very accessible to people. Like, all the Ultraman stuff, that's all on Tubi. The Gamera Rebirth, that's a Netflix series. Shin Kamen Rider, I mean, granted, those are Fathom Events releases, so they're only on for like a day, but Shin Ultraman is getting a Blu-ray release, I think, next month or the month after. So they're all very, very accessible. I think, oddly enough, I think the only things that are not accessible are all the post-Showa era Godzilla films. Like, I don't think the Versus series or the Millennium era are available to stream anywhere.
No, you kind of just have to.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because some of those Blu-rays are.
Go to your local library.
Yeah, like someone posted on one of the Godzilla collectors groups I'm in on Facebook the other day, selling a copy of The Return of Godzilla on Blu-ray, the Kraken release, which I never got, but now I'm kicking myself for never getting because apparently it's like going for $150 nowadays. I'm like, fuck, I should have bought that.
Oh shit, I have that.
Yeah, see, you could make some money off that, Brian.
No.
No. It's okay.
I like having I have all of the movies now except for the Polygon trilogy.
Yeah, the only ones I don't have, at least on Blu-ray, are Return to Godzilla and 1998. Those are the only ones I don't own on Blu-ray.
The only one that I have that's not on Blu-ray is Godzilla vs. Biollante, but that's because that shit's expensive.
This is true. Maybe one of these days.
I'm not dropping a couple $100 on.
It's weird
Blu-ray.
because I remember, I think there were a couple, maybe a year or two ago. I think it was right around when Criterion did their big Showa era box set. There was some random showing for Godzilla vs. Biollante at like someone's local theater, and it had the Janus Films logo in front of which is the Criterion thing. So people were thinking that like maybe they still maybe they have the rights to the first two Versus era films, but they haven't really done anything with those since. I mean, it'd be nice to have it at least on streaming, if not released as a Criterion. Released in the Criterion collection. So I don't know, but who knows?
Yeah. Okay. We have any more thoughts?
I don't have any more thoughts. I want Destoroyah, and I want Space Godzilla, and I want Bagan, and I want Mecha King Ghidorah in this movie. If it's not, it's a 0 out of 10 worst movie of all time.
Yeah, I think you're right. I want all of the monsters in one movie.
Yeah, just destroy all monsters.
And I want Anguirus to be there, and then I want Godzilla and Anguirus to talk to each other,
but
just
Anguirus
like they did in
is
Godzilla
dead, Brian. We saw his skeleton in King of the Monsters.
No, I'm sure there are other Anguiri out there.
Anguiri.
Yeah.
I see. All right. Well, Brian, I guess we can move on to our next and final segment. What new cool kaiju thing are you talking about? What new cool kaiju thing are you checking out right now? Hey, Brian, is there any new cool kaiju thing you're checking out right now?
I played a bit of Dawn of the Monsters, actually.
Yeah, that's good. What'd you think?
I mean, I haven't really. This is the 5th time in 2 years that I've moved, so I haven't had a lot of time to do much of anything.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
But I did have time to play some Dawn of the Monsters, and that game is a lot of fun. It is a bummer that we found out that it is not online co-op.
Yeah, we were planning on going through the whole campaign, but it's couch co-op only.
Man, that art style is
so good.
Really good. Yeah. Yeah, it's really good. I didn't play through a lot of it because I think I want to play through it with like either Sam or if someone else wants to play it. But it's fun. It is fun. I love the combat is like surprisingly in depth.
Mm-hmm.
It's just pretty cool. There's like finishers and shit. There's like upgrade trees. And,
yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and like the actual story and the character art is like super cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like it. It's just it is a game that is in love with the genre, and
Yeah,
I
mean the amount
of
of Easter eggs in that fucking game is like ridiculous.
Yeah,
like I've been
it
right.
brings me back to when we saw the trailer for it behind closed doors at G Fest that one time.
I've been working on a piece for Kaiju United, like covering the Easter eggs in that game, and it's almost overwhelming, like how many there are. So
yeah,
but all right, I'm gonna talk about two things, Brian. One of which to give you shit for mostly. So which one do you want first?
The one where you give me shit.
Okay. Well, I watched the new animation from Quasies on YouTube. They have been doing these really, really adorable Godzilla animations, really like well done, and they're like 15 minutes each. And I keep sending them to you, Brian, and you never fucking watch them. So this is me.
Yeah, I watched the one where it was like Godzilla on vacation or whatever.
That was Anguirus on vacation.
Or Anguirus on vacation. I watched that one.
Well, you didn't say anything about it, Brian. I sent it to you.
I
You didn't
forgot
respond.
to mention that I loved it.
Well, Jesus Christ.
It's funny as shit.
Well, you should
I didn't watch the Gigan one because I saw it and I just forgot to click on it.
You gotta watch it. It's Gigan's big score. He gets a new sexy makeover. Space Godzilla is confirmed bisexual icon.
Oh my god, this is a 15-minute video. I was just gonna see if it was
watchable.
No. I'll watch it later.
Right.
I mean, I really, really liked the Anguirus on vacation.
All three of those shorts. Like, I'm shocked, like how increasingly delightful they've all been. They've each been more delightful than the last, and I hope that Quasies keeps making these for all eternity, because I will. I straight up, like, as soon as I finish watching that, I'm like, all right, going to Patreon. I'm a patron now. I want more of these, for the love of God. So
I see on the thumbnail the original Gigan color scheme, which is based as fuck.
Yeah, well, that's like a whole thing. Like the overall plot is that, like, Gigan feels lame, so he gets the makeover to the Millennium Gigan so he can be cool and sexy.
Oh my God.
That's the overall plot of the short. So you can enjoy that when you finally watch it later.
I always thought that Final Wars Gigan was like the Gigan's emo phase.
Well, watch the short and then tell me how you feel about that afterwards. But anyways, the real thing I watched The Three Treasures, which is a 1959 film. It was Toho's 100th film, and it was just a retelling of the birth of Japan story with Susanoo and everything, and Yamada no Arachi and all that fun stuff. It's 3 hours long, kind of boring, not gonna lie. I zoned out through most of it, at least through the second half. Like, the first half was pretty solid, and then, like, everything after the intermission, I was just like, how much longer is in this movie? I want to go to bed. Which is insane, because the cast is fucking incredible. I mean, you have Toshiro Mifune as Yamada Takeru, and, like, the movie's boring. Like, how did that happen? I don't understand. It's very weird. I will say Akihiko Harada is in this, the guy who played Serizawa in the original film. He's rocking a beard in this movie. My fucking God, he looks fucking incredible with a beard. I don't know why he wasn't bearded up more often, but he's a sexy man with a beard, let me tell you. I'll
take your word for it.
But other than being boring, I mean, it's got a lot of really nice style. Like, a lot of the effect sequences are really, really good. The Orachi sequences really good as well. But yeah, just overall, I was a little disappointed in it. I was kind of like, oh, that wasn't as good as I was hoping it was gonna be. Oh well.
Was it pacing, do you think?
Maybe it was paced oddly, because, like, it's broken up with so I mean, you have Yamada Takeru, but it's also, like, broken up with stories of, like, the gods, like Susanoo and people. It's very weird, and the stories go on for a while, so the pacing is kind of weird. I don't know if that was the reason I didn't like it. I don't know. But it's an okay movie.
Like,
if it was shorter,
for me, if something is paced poorly, then that is a very fast movie killer for me.
That might be it. I definitely want to go back and rewatch it at some point and actually like pay full attention to it. Not zone out during it. But I don't know how.
Drink a shit ton of coffee.
Maybe. I mean, I did have like 2 or 3 beers, so maybe that was maybe that was a mistake. Who knows? That'll
do it.
Yeah, but yeah, I was disappointed in it, but it's got a lot of style to it. It's very well shot and very well made. I'll give it that. But yeah, I think.
Well, maybe is it on something, or did you have to like rent it from somewhere?
I acquired it through not so legal means.
Oh, I gotcha. I was gonna say if it was accessible, then maybe I would give it a watch and see what I thought.
No, it's not accessible.
Ooh, gonna have to bleep all that out.
We sail the 7 seas here, Brian. We sail the 7 seas.
It's a felony.
Hey,
Dave.
Fucking blame Toho for not making their films other than like Godzilla available anywhere else. It's all their fault.
Yeah.
Okay, let's end this before I admit to more crimes on the air.
Yeah.
This was Talking Toku, wasn't it, Brian?
It was indeed an episode of Talking Toku. Yeah. Sorry for the not much focus, but
it's okay. We'll have a more focused
episode
next time.
We just felt like chilling out and talking about stuff.
Yeah, for God's sake, can't we just like relax for once? God.
I mean, if you like these kinds of episodes, let us know, and Dave and I can talk about random shit for hours.
I mean, we have in the past for sure. I mean, we had a whole episode that was just like, hey, Mechagodzilla is pretty cool. Hey, dinosaurs are pretty cool.
We should do another one of those episodes, honestly.
Which just X thing is cool.
Just another like monster appreciation episode.
Yeah, that could be fun.
All about we'll have to figure it out because there's lots of things we can pick from, but
that was Talking Toku. Next week we're gonna review some. Well, not next week, but 2 weeks we're gonna review some. Not 2 weeks. Wait, hold on. I got to look at the calendar. One second. Cause when is 2 weeks? Okay, 2 weeks. I'm gonna be in Chicago for All Monsters Attack, so it's gonna be a little longer than 2 weeks. Never mind.
I wish I could be there, but I ran into some monetary issues earlier this year that made that impossible.
So we'll be back mid-May.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do. We might. I do want to review The Beast Below or The Lake, and we can.
I think all the Beast Below, The Lake, and also them, the original, are currently on our list for reviews.
I feel like I know The Lake comes out on Blu-ray next month, so I might want to wait until I can get Blu-ray for that. Release. Yeah, so I might do The Beast Below because I don't think that is getting a Blu-ray, unfortunately. So we might just do that. Yeah, the 16th.
And of course, if you guys have any ideas or recommendations to add to the ever-growing list of things that we need to get off our ass and review, send it our way.
Yeah, absolutely.
On our
would love to
social media channels.
Yeah, at Talking Toku at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. All at Talking Toku. You can reach us at, and also in the Kaiju United Discord and Facebook's I said it again. Facebook and Discord server. Jesus fucking Christ, I'm losing my mind.
Yep,
I'm keeping that in.
You're just so excited about Godzilla X Kong.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited about the new Empire, Brian. I can't believe we're getting the new Empire. I hope you guys.
Empire.
I hope you guys know we're gonna be joking about the new Empire until this movie fucking comes out. Like,
and even after.
Yeah, it's this is already a new bit. Like, right up in the annals, along with your favorite scene in the whole entire movie. Like, this is a new thing. Yeah. I'm sorry. You know what? No, I'm not sorry. Fuck it.
I can't wait for Godzilla X Kong to come out and it to be unironically the best movie in the series.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
Fucking wrong for making fun of it.
Could you imagine? I mean, hey, if that ends up being the case, I'd be more than happy. I just don't think it's going to be the case.
No, that would be really funny if we were like humiliated like that, though.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's get that. Let's skedaddle, Brian.
All right.
Yeah, go check out Kaiju United Facebook and Discord server, and also the website at kaijuunited.com. And like I just said, 2 seconds ago, I'm going to be at All Monsters Attack in Chicago from May 5th through the 7th. I'm actually going to be there a little longer. I'm flying in Thursday, so May 4th through the 1st. If you're around at All Monsters Attack, feel free to come say hi. I'm going to bring some Talking Toku stickers along with me. So if you want a sticker, you want a Talking Toku sticker with that sick-ass fucking logo that Tom Martin of Lich King fame did, let me know. I'll give you one. We'll say hi.
Can I have one?
Are you going to be at All Monsters Attack?
No.
Then fuck you, Brian.
Dave, I work on the show.
Maybe you shouldn't have moved to Washington then.
Shit.
But yeah, feel free to come up and say hi and chat about the show. I know you don't know what I look like, but I don't know. I'll probably be posting stuff on the Instagram while I'm there. That's all you got.
Sure, that's Dave.
Yeah, I'll get one of those T-shirts, like a white T-shirt, and just write in Sharpie, "I am Talking Toku host."
Dave.
Yeah, Dave, not Brian.
I am Dave.
Dave, not Brian on the back. So yeah, but yeah, feel free to come up and say hi. If you want, I might even because I know me and Jacob were talking about doing maybe like a. I don't know if we'll release this as a Talking Toku episode because you're not going to be at the convention, but we were talking about doing like a podcast recapping the con. I might bring. I mean, I'll probably just do it on my phone, but you can say a few words about how you feel about the convention, and we'll put it in there. So yeah, if you're coming to All Monsters Attack, I'll see you there. Hopefully. But that's it. I think I'm David.
I'm Brian. And go watch Evil Dead Rise.
Go watch Evil Dead Rise. Go watch those Quasies animations. I'm actually gonna post Gigan's big score in the description for this podcast because everyone needs to fucking see it. It's adorable. All right. Think that's gonna be it. We'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. Goodbye.
Bye.